now. Ta-da! So I invited you, and now
look, if
I'm
one of y'all knows how to do this, you should totally hit us up in the comments and coach us on lives.
for real. I was saying, like, look, make fun of me because you know what? By the end of the year, I'm gonna be able to show. Look, all these powerhouse. Hang on, I am like.
Oh, now we got to mute this thing.
Turn your volume down on your phone. I'm teaching all these things. Okay.
My volume's down.
And then let me turn mine.
Your volume down on your phone?
Okay, there. That's mine. I know, right? I know. I tell everybody, I was like, just make fun of me because in a year I'll be teaching classes on how to do this. And look, all these powerhouse, everyone who's been on my maybe a couple of people, they are not. Yeah, they're not on the TikTok thing. I literally had some of them. I like, you got to go get a TikTok account. Because
I joined the Chinese communist women, but now it's Bibi, right? Didn't the Israelis buy TikTok? Is that what's happened now? I don't even know who's in charge anymore.
I don't watch the news, so if there's anything going on, I have no idea because I do not allow the news in my brain unless somebody sticks it in on my Facebook. Other than that, I do not know anything. So if they're against TikTok for a reason, I have no idea because I'm behind.
We don't know as much as you do. So let me go put this on my laptop so it can. Okay, I'm kind of crooked, but whatever. All right. Poor connection, switch to a different network. I've got a full T1. What are we doing here? Look, the enemy is trying to get in the way of our little live. Mm-hmm.
Oh, he don't win, though.
Right. He doesn't win. I don't know what I'm doing here. So whoever is watching this, we just trust that we mean well.
Yeah, okay. They do. They used to tell them, just listen, because I don't know what's going on.
You're connecting on audio only. Let's see. There we go. Okay.
Now we got okay. There you go. Okay, ta-da. I'm fixing to put you up because I've learned to be about somebody else. Not just John Maxwell taught me. It's not about you, Amy. He doesn't say it like that because, I didn't know him like that.
Because he's classier than that.
I know, right? But I just heard him one day because I was like, I don't want to speak. And it was so many years ago. And even though I had been like a teacher so many years, but I would just really struggle getting in front of people, that I didn't know. In front of people, I'm good. Just in front of people, I don't know.
But you're in real estate with the general public. Okay.
And I heard him say one time, it's not about you. And I was like, oh, thank God. Okay. So since it's about them, it doesn't matter. So if I make all the mistakes. And I remember standing in front of this audience and I was like, okay, I'm just letting you know that I say a lot of likes and a lot of okays or whatever. I say a lot of likes. So if you guys just want to, because I'm like an 80s girl, right? Like in the 80s, it was like. I'm still there. Is
that the reason these young people don't have a complete vocabulary because of us in our Valley Girl days?
Yeah.
I didn't Valley Girl. I just had the big crunchy ball and the perm. So I was more of a East Coast kind of a version. You were West Coast, I guess.
No, no, Central. I've been in Central Texas. So I was in Texas growing up. And then Alaska, I've been for 25 years. Telling all my age. Does that make sense? So
yeah, but Texas, I don't think would have been an East Coast 80s style. I guess Texas probably had their own style if it was true Texas stuff.
Yeah, in the South, we did big hair. So Aquanet was a thing. And so like
I miss Aquanet.
We would take our hair, our combs, and we would take our hair, stick it up. Oh, yeah, man. And we do our little curls. Oh, yeah. Forever that I still wore that big hair. I got to Alaska and somebody was like, that's hairstyles out. And I was like, really? And
but they wear hoods and toboggans. There's no reason to fix your hair in Alaska. You're just going to put a hat on it.
I know. You can put a hoodie on. Look, a hoodie on, and you can go show houses just like that and look in your rubber boots. And it's funny because somebody will show up from the lower 48 and they'll be like, that's what you're wearing. And I was like, yeah, because there's mud puddles. Okay, get ready. Not just a little bit, big mud puddles.
I know. So it rained here 2 days ago, but it's already dried up because it's dry in November. But it snowed last night. We never get November snow in North Carolina. That was very exciting.
Oh, that is exciting. That is. I love the snow. I love whatever God gives us. The rain, I play in the rain. I play in the snow. I like it all. I just adapt. And that's what we have to do, right? We have to adapt. We're not going to quit. So back to, we got on the 80s thing. But so I learned, and I'm learning about other people. So you push this little thing at the bottom of your picture.
And when I push it, I can go over there, and then I can make everything be about you. And then you push
Oh,
it.
I see 7 Moonlight Dolphins. Hello, 7 Moonlight Dolphins. Oh, hey, what's up? There's me.
There you are. See? And look, the first podcast, it was like all about me. And I'd had surgery on my face, and so my face is all swell. But it was
Good luck.
I was like, I'm still doing this. I am just going to do it because I already committed to it. Then I ended up having a surgery at the last minute. Anyways, all this stuff happened, but I still made it through it. And we just have to adapt. Sometimes, life throws us yucky things, and we just keep going.
And what are you going to do? What if today's your last day on earth? And then what can you say you did with it? Laid around on the couch? No, we don't do that. We just go.
We just go. I know laying on the couch is not fun to me. Even if I'm miserable, I'd want to go somewhere.
Oh, we got Cody and Shanaz or Shanaze. I don't know how you say it, but hello. We were so glad you're here, whoever you are.
Yes. All you guys, thanks for joining. I got Lee Brown on. Oh my God, she's so amazing. You guys, seriously, I know I'm a little charismatic because it's my gift, okay? This is my gift God gave me. Like some of y'all pay attention to detail. That's the people I need to hire, okay?
Those are administrative gifts. I got encouragement. You got charismatic. You got...
Look, I can adapt. I can whatever gift you want to give me, God, we can work with it. Okay.
It's not true. Some of us have no business trying to be administrative, Amy. Let's just be real about that because gifts assessment, my administration skills are way down here at the bottom.
I know. Oh Lord, I was without an assistant for a minute. I just got my new one, and oh my God, I was like, I know everybody's so happy right now.
Like you're great, but she's wonderful.
Huh? Oh my goodness.
Bill Littman. I saw Sari P or Sarip. I don't know if it was Sarip or Sari P. And there's D. Shush. I should probably not try to call names because y'all's handles aren't real names. I see. Okay.
I get afraid to say some mom over there. Anyways, y'all put a heart in there in the comments because we got goals and I forget to look at my live goal. They have live goals.
You have 5 hearts. You need the ×5. What does that mean? You getting a league diamond? I don't know what any of that means.
Oh, there's so much. They told me I had 100 diamonds now or something like that. I was like, I do or something. I don't know. I'm a little slow. I just know that we have goals and you got to comment. You got to just say you're here. Just in there, have a question, let us know. You guys, this is Lee Brown. She's been teaching people how to be millionaires for like forever, real estate agents. She goes all over the United States, teaching people forever. As long as I've known you, it's been a long, long time. And she's an amazing person. She's always, not just that, but she's always out in the world doing all kinds of things, trying to make the world a better place. Yeah, so many things. I mean, there's this like list of things, and I'm gonna let you tell a little bit about yourself, and then you guys, she's gonna give us tips and tricks on, habits and things to do to so you can get to your goals. And also, happy Veterans Day to all the veterans. We really appreciate you guys so much. So, and okay, I'm gonna let you have it because I'm a talker.
I mean, that's true. We also appreciate the veterans who served that didn't want to, like my daddy, who did not want to go to Vietnam, but he flunked out of college for partying too much. And so the minute his college kicked him out, he got his draft notice and off he went to Da Nang. And so what my daddy has learned is that if he wears his little Vietnam veteran hat, people come over and speak to him and buy him coffee. And it's so awesome because the Vietnam veterans in specific were treated so poorly when they came back. So for him to get a little attention now makes him really happy and makes my mama happy too, because it's so cute. And we do appreciate all of our veterans and wish you guys to be a little bit louder about why this country is so important to you, because I think that's a challenge we have with the younger generation when we look at these stats about how many of them are proud to be an American and how many don't like the country. This is a very bad position we're in right now, but we could turn it around with good conversations and with storytelling. You wanted me to say what again? I mean, I'm from North Carolina. So if you're following my account, what you generally see is real estate stuff. You see devotional stuff, and you see my relief work in the western part of North Carolina where it was devastated by Hurricane Helene. That's my channel, is those main things. And occasionally my grown kids, but not all the time because they have to say yes before I post them on my accounts because I'm very extra according to them. And I said, but isn't that better than being mid or basic? And they told me to stop using their language because obviously That's what we're not supposed to do as parents, but we didn't want anybody to use our language back in the 70s and 80s either.
Right.
But I am a real estate broker of 25 years. And before that, I sold chainsaws. I was the only woman on the sales force for Husqvarna, which is when I lived in Iowa and in Texas. Prior to that, I worked on Wall Street, which is why I'm so irritated right now with our beloved president with his stupid idea for a 50-year mortgage. And we can talk about that if you want to, because it's the worst idea ever. But that's a basic economic thing that nobody should be putting in his ear. But that's why I know economics and finance, because I lived that life and hated it. And then prior to that, of course, I was a college kid, a high school kid, grew up a farm kid, and my gigantic family is the best thing in my life because the family reunions are now hosted at my house now that the grandparents are gone, and I have 10 acres with chickens and gardens and then a pool so the kids can get in the pool while the grown-ups sit around under the trees and talk, because I've apparently turned into my parents, and I'm the happiest ever because of that. So that's a quick thumbnail of me. And yeah, so we could talk about anything you want to talk about. In fact, if y'all want us to talk about things, you could put it in the comments, and Amy and I will talk about whatever random things you put in there, because we got opinions.
Okay, so I guess we got to get this whole 50-year-old mortgage out. Look, because I don't watch the news, but my son, one of my children sent me, and I'm not going to say their names because, you know, I have kids like you that some of them like, don't post all that or don't post that or whatever. You know what I mean?
We'll call your kid Bob. So Bob reached out to you.
I know. Okay, yeah. So
Hi, Bob.
Just random tags. I wake up to it or whatever that has this picture of, and he goes, and I get it. They're saying this is not really funny, but it's funny, right? Because it shows Dave Ramsey's in critical condition because of the 50-year-old mortgage. And you have to kind of follow Dave Ramsey to get it because he does not teach that. I mean, he literally does not teach that at all.
It's as far away from Dave Ramsey as you could possibly get. That's debt slavery. And while I appreciate the president for wanting to do something to make housing more affordable for the younger generation, that ain't it, because it is not going to make anything more affordable. All it's going to do is drive prices up. The way that we make things more affordable is to get the 22 million illegals out of the country because they're taking up housing space. Nobody seems to understand that there is a direct correlation between the illegal problem and the housing issue. It's just got to get stopped. And by the way, the HB1s need to be stopped. We have so many HB1s. They're also taking up housing. And the more people that are here competing for housing, prices go up. So adding a 50-year mortgage looks good on paper, except that the minute somebody applies for that mortgage, so are all their peers. And so now you have more demand in the marketplace, drives the prices up. You didn't achieve anything, except people are now tied to their house for a 50-year AM instead of a 30-year AM. And really, I've been telling people for years to do a 15 if you can, so you can pay it down faster, because you don't want debt slavery. That's actually against the Bible. It's usury. Bad.
Yeah. Well, and then we also saw, and I tell people this all the time, I said, you know, we have to watch this whole system, because here we have interest rates going really low. And this is one of my children I'm just using, for example. So he bought a house. So he sold his house, bought a house, and then so excited. So he went up a level. But here's the thing is, at 6 months later, the taxes went up so high that his payment went so high. So here we are, is like, oh, it's a blessing. The interest rates are so low. Everybody just go run and let's go refi. 6 months later, now our taxes are so high that, you know what I mean? It's
even without talking about insurance, which is also skyrocketing. So the things that look affordable aren't necessarily affordable and sustainable, which has to be a part of the conversation. But again, kudos to President Trump for even talking about the issue, because that's how that socialist got elected in New York City, is because he's talking about the pain points of young people, which has to do with the cost of housing. Yeah. And more people need to come up with solutions instead of just saying, oh, the poor young people. Well, yeah. I mean, part of me says go work a second job to get your down payment. That's what I did. But whenever I say that, I'm accused of being a boomer, but I'm not. I'm a Gen Xer. And us Gen Xers have been ignored for years, by the way. We were latchkey kids and we just work.
Yeah, we just work. That's funny. You know, the thing is that when people say, you know, when is a good time to buy a house? It's just like you just buy a house.
It's when it makes sense for your pocketbook. I mean, that's what it boils down to.
Yeah. you're
There's
waiting
ways to do it.
for what? The interest rates to go down, then the taxes go up. I mean, we're always going to be in the system of this. The interest rate's going to be down, they're going to go up, they're going to go down. As long as I've been alive, it's been like that.
Well, the question just becomes, which excuse are you going to let take over your life? I mean, you could say interest rates keep you from home ownership. Okay. So that means you didn't talk to a lender about buy downs, or you didn't change your price point, or more importantly, change your expectations, because I do think we have an expectation gap right now where our first time buyers do want very nice homes, turnkey, granite, hardwoods, nice, beautiful houses, instead of the first time house that I had and that many people did with beat down carpet and kind of sad appliances and popcorn ceilings. But you know what? It was mine. And I knew I could get the popcorn
It was
down.
scary looking.
I put a rug on top of these sad carpets because I did. That's what a cheap rug is for, is to cover up your carpets. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I know. I remember my first
There's a lot to be
house,
said
like,
about.
have those. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I mean, I own or financed my house in 5 years and paid it off. I mean, I didn't use a mortgage in my first house, you know. And
That's pretty
nowadays,
impressive.
you really can't do that because they want 30 years and now they want 50 years. And so I don't know. I just, I don't know. There's some things I'm just not for. But I mean, you have to do what you have to do. But I think that's the problem with student loans and all these things. It's like it's a trap, like you're never going to get out. I don't know.
Oh, it's
50 years.
definitely a trap. I mean,
Yeah.
college shouldn't cost as much as it costs. It only does because there's no caps on how much money the federal government will throw in. That didn't exist when I was in college and I bartended to pay for college. I get it. You can't do that now, but then you have to ask yourself, what kind of a degree are you getting anyway? I mean, I told my kids, if it ends in studies, I'm not paying for it. It's got to be something that's an actual degree.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, okay, we'll get off the 50-year mortgage because, yeah, obviously we're not.
Terrible idea.
Yeah.
I guess I better make a video to that effect. I haven't done it yet because my hair wasn't fixed yesterday, and I can't make a video if my hair's not fixed when it relates to real estate.
You have to have the look. Okay, so I know everybody wants tips and tricks. How are we going to? So, what are the habits that you did to get to where you're at now, or even before where you're at now? Like when you started seeing success, because you talk about, well, when my first house looked like this, right? And then as you grew and you learned how to be successful, what would you say that you did that you see that other people, because you train a lot of realtors and you have coached a lot of people over the years. I mean, you're a person that I always text if I want advice about something. So I guess that's the thing is that because I have a lot of questions all the time, so you have to pick whatever you want to choose. So what would it be that what helped to get you where you're at? Okay. If somebody says, I don't want to be here tomorrow, I don't want to make $50,000 a year. And $100,000, people to make $100,000, I just laugh. I go, $100,000. I don't know who can make a living on $100,000. I guess certain places of the world you can, but I don't know. I mean, like you're not going to go anywhere if you live on 100,000. You'll just be lucky if you make it. So,
no, you could make it on 100,000 if you learned how to budget and eat at home and not DoorDash and not eat Starbucks and maybe downgrade the living situation or downgrade the spending. I think there's also a place that we're all in right now in a very consumerist society where we need, or you have an Amazon Prime account. And so you order it and it comes and it's free shipping and it's there next day. And all of a sudden you've accumulated Amazon debt for no reason at all. But so if you want to know the secret to success, it's really as simple as doing the things other people don't want to do. I get up at 4:00. Most people don't want to get up at 4:00. And it's not because they're night owls. It's because they don't want to get up at 4:00. They'd rather stay up until midnight cruising the internet or binging on Netflix or just kind of sitting around. They're not being productive at midnight. They're just up. And so then they go to bed and they can't get up at 4 because their body's exhausted, because your body does need sleep. But I get 6 hours. I go to bed at 10, get up at 4. When I get up at 4, nobody's up except me. The best time of day because I can drink my pot of coffee. I can play Words with Friends, which is my guilty pleasure in the morning as I wake my brain up. I can then bust out my Bible and I'm going to have my devotion time so that when I go exercise, I can have my talk with the Lord, and I pray a lot during my workout. I run or I swim or I lift. And then by the time 7:00 rolls around, I'm up, I've had my coffee, I've had my devotion, I've even played my word games, and I'm exercised. I'm good to go. When most people are just then starting to wake up.
Yeah.
The first thing you have to remind yourself is that if you're hitting snooze in the morning when your alarm goes off, you've just failed your first commitment of the day. I don't want to fail my commitment. And so if my alarm goes off at 4, I'm getting up so that I don't have to look back and say, dang it, I did not go through with the first commitment I had today, which is also going to remind me to get through the rest of my commitments, which is in my notebooks. I mean, I've got notebooks that have all of my little things to do in them because I'm an old person who likes to write. It's how I remember things.
Yeah.
And that's another secret to success. It is not relying on devices all the time, which can crap out and lose your internet and they go away. Well, what would you do without your notes app? Most people would be frozen. I'm not frozen. I've got my paper and my pencil, and I've got all my little tiny notes tucked in here because I keep all my little papers in here. So I have access to my brain written down, and that's a start right there. I would
Yeah.
also point out that at night, I think a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs, would be well served if they learned how to turn their devices all the way off and go to airplane mode at 7, 7:30, 8 o'clock. Of course, you work longer hours than normal people, but what you should do is give yourself that little bit of buffer and then cut it off so that your brain can dial down. The blue light on our devices keeps our brains from powering down. And that's why so many people lay in the bed, can't go to sleep, and then they aren't rested, and then their anxiety and their panic goes up. And that's not good for your health or nothing else. So
Yeah.
and by the way, if you're relying on pharmaceuticals to sleep, stop it, get off of that, and learn how to power down your device and see if that doesn't fix a lot of your problems.
Oh, that's good. I kind of live a life like you, and you know what's funny is that almost every entrepreneur that I have interviewed since I started this, every one of them have this. A lot of them don't talk about their nighttime, but some of them do. But it's interesting, like, and over the years that I've known, I've taken enough classes and I learned that. I learned it from even Darren Hardy and all these people that I learned, and I changed my routine many years ago and started doing the 4 a.m., be at the gym by 5, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm, of course, have to be on by 6 o'clock live, you know, because I do that now where I'm here instead of, you know, doing with somebody else. And so, you know, having that routine in the morning, I have to have, I don't know what it is, but my face don't even look right in the morning. Like when I first wake up, I got to, you know, get some, you know, splash some water on, get to moving. I got to.
If I don't move, the bags are bad enough, but if I did not move, they would be so much bigger. And so I'm not going to resort to cosmetic work or pharmaceuticals. I'm just going to get older, and that's what it is. But running is helping me not show my age quite as much, even though I know that it shows, but whatever.
I think
live with who you are. I do need a new eye cream though. So if any of your followers have a good eye cream, I need a good one.
I'm Mary Kay all the way. I've done Mary Kay since I was 20 years old.
Does
And
she make
people
one of
go,
those
how do you look so young? I go, well, I pray and I wear Mary Kay.
Yeah, but what sucks the bags up? Does she make one of them creams? Because
they do. They have all. Look, they got everything. I don't care what it is. You got a spot. They have something to cover it. I always get a spot right here. I'm like, oh, I hate that freaking spot.
But you know, Mary Kay has more women entrepreneurs than anybody else on the planet. She doesn't get nearly enough credit for what she did. Her books are the best business books ever.
Yeah, I mean, her makeup is amazing. But yeah, they have all kinds of, you know what? Somebody told me a lot of times the puffiness comes, look, I'm not going to diagnose you on live here. So the puffiness, I think, comes from allergies. I have found that a lot of people,
that's my green tea.
You like the dust or the all these different things cause puffiness. So you might just be allergic to something in your house.
TikTok filtered me, and then the Riverside did not. So I'm just going to look at the TikTok camera.
No, it'll download and make you look good. Don't worry. Sometimes it does all kinds of weird stuff, but then when it uploads, and I don't know. Yeah, unless
I'm going on the Golden Bachelor, I don't need to look any better. My husband is legally required to put up with what I look like, and that's fine.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. He's legally required. He's legally required.
I like to refer to him as my first husband because he is, and he hates that
Yeah.
joke, and I think it's hilarious. But he's an engineer, so his sense of humor is a little.
Oh,
different than mine.
he's the detail guy. Oh, that's funny. I love it. You married an engineer. That's, those are my favorite clients because they always find stuff that I do wrong. They always catch all the little errors, that I do, and I love it.
Oh, now that is a healthy perspective, Amy. I like that perspective. That's a very biblical way to look at it.
I just like it
Okay.
because I go, most people don't care. They just sign something. But my engineers that are like, oh, and I have one that I've done so many deals with. The last commercial deal I was doing with her, and she's like finding a couple of errors. And then she goes, well, and I go, why are you so quiet? I'm that perfect right now. And she was like, no, I just didn't want to say nothing. I go, please tell me. I love it. It makes me a better person. Go find my errors. You know what? Because here's the thing is that when you get to the point in your life that you're okay with you and you're okay that you're not perfect and that we're better together, I tell my clients we're team players. So
I literally had that conversation on Sunday with one of my girls. I became an auctioneer last year so that I could do auctions for houses in addition to traditional house sales. So we were finishing the personal property side, and the lady who lived in this house, because I cleaned out her clothing, she had everything from a size 4 to a 4X. I mean, it was the entire gamut of sizes. And in cleaning out her bathroom and her pharmaceuticals, we had 3 hefty bags full of supplements and you name it, this lady tried it. And my heart just broke for her because I'm thinking somebody along the way should have just hugged you and said, it doesn't matter. And you're chasing something that's obviously to fill some gap here. And now she's gone. And I wish I could have known her because I would have just hugged the life out of her. But what my girls and I were talking about, since we're all over the big 50 mark, we were like, when you're 20, you think other people care about what your size is. And the older you get, you realize nobody cares, really nobody cares. And if somebody did make a comment, that's not your people anyway, so it doesn't matter. And this lady had put her health at risk because if you go through that many sizes, you hurt your organs, you hurt your metabolism, you hurt your hormones, you hurt everything. And man, I wish somebody along the way had just said, girl, whatever size you are, just be that size. You're good.
Be that size. You know what? Just be happy with you. Just be happy with you. Love you.
You're amazing. That's cool, but change it for you and not for the world.
Yeah,
right. Exactly.
If you're always worried about what somebody else thinks, you're always going to be doing that. You're always going to be never good enough. And that's the problem with the world now is that we live in this not good enough. That's why we do the filters and we do all the stuff is because we're never feel good enough. And then
you wind up in debt slavery because you're trying to get more than you thought you needed because other people had it. Ugh.
Yeah, because you're trying to keep up and you're trying to keep up, and it's all it is exhausting. It's exhausting. Yeah. I mean, just to find yourself, and that's why I started SPF, or Spiritually, Physically, Financially Fit with Bacon. It was like, find your fit, find where you're going. What's your goal? Don't worry about other people. I found a long time ago is the people that are mean or put you down or accuse you of things or do mean things to you. They're just miserable. They have nothing to do with you. Don't
they're covered up for their own issues. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are. They're focused on look at you so nobody can see them. And most of the time when they're accusing you of something is because they're doing something bad. They don't want nobody to see them. Say they want all the distraction and stuff going into you. I mean, you see that even and I'll say, because we talked about politics, even though I'm not a politic person at all. But the thing is that watching Trump go through some of the things, really made me see things a little bit different. Like when somebody does something mean or crazy, use it like that's, look, that's getting me attention and it's making me sell more, making me more money. Because you know what, the people who know you, when you're doing the right thing all the time over the years, they know you. If you was to accuse me and say something about me in Alaska, you know what, people know who that is. And that, the people who know me like, no, that's, because I've earned a reputation over all these 20-something years. People know who I am, just like you. We know who you are. We know your ethics. We know your standard and all that. So even if somebody was to say, oh, you're not this, because there are people, and then here's the thing is what I'll tell you, is that go look on their, most of the time they're hiding. They're not even who they are. Okay. They got fake pictures. And then if you look at their Google reviews, they just go around. They don't even got enough backbone to say who they are. They basically live in all these Google reviews. They're negative to everybody. So you just know they just negative. They just a troll. They just bad. They just have the devil, listening to the devil, doing their negativity, sowing their seed. Let them go do it. Right. Because
so funny. I looked up somebody the other day who was being nasty, and all they left was 1-star reviews. I'm like, oh, that's them. It's not me.
Right.
They're,
It's not.
but
They're
if I take
just
it
negative.
personally, I'll stop serving. And so you can't let somebody else's negativity stop you from serving, which is what happens in real estate and in other small businesses. You run into one nasty customer, and how many people that we know, Amy, will just say, I'm done today. I'm done with this, done with these people. And then they just stop because one person was nasty. Yeah, but what if the next person was going to be your nicest, favorite, most amazing client ever, and you gave up before you got to them?
Right. You can't let that one negative person, because they're doing their job. I mean, they're negative. That's who they are. They're
Well,
just
it's like you said, your one lady who's not necessarily negative, but she's critical, allows you to say, okay, that has merit. I can respond and get better. Because sometimes the criticism does have merit, whether we want to admit it or not. But yay for her giving you a chance to get better. That's what real grace looks like.
Yeah. You know, if I don't like somebody's business or something that they do, I will give them feedback, and I just tell them, hey, I don't put it on a review. I don't never sow that seed. I'm going to tell you right now, I just don't. I will not sow a seed and go publicly put something on somebody's resume that's going to be there forever.
I did publicly respond to an Airbnb guest who had let their dogs destroy my bedding, and they smoked in my house. So I did respond to that.
Okay.
Because other hosts should know this person is going to completely break all the rules.
Okay. I mean, I don't do Airbnb, so I'm not going to give feedback on that, but, or debate. I'm just saying, I don't go on and leave those things. I will, though, send a message to the business and say, hey, I'm just going to give you some feedback. This was my experience. And I would just know, as a business owner, I would want somebody to tell me, but not tell everybody, because I'd want a chance to grow and get right. I mean, do right. You know, because if you're helping, encouraging, building people up, that's what I would want. That's how I live my life. Everybody can do whatever they want to do. I mean, I had somebody recently where the lady took my listing and she puts it on the T thing or whatever. And she goes, I think this about the foundation. I think it was like, and this was just a few weeks ago. I think this. And maybe, and I walked by and I thought this, and I think everything was, I think. And so all of a sudden, I mean, my messages started burning up with all these people like, Amy, this lady is doing this and this. And I go, let her do it. Let her do it. She just gave me attention, because all these people underneath it were saying, oh, they were just taken up for it. You know what I mean?
Oh, you mean like that agent at I can't remember where she was in Alabama, but the firm posted, hey, welcome to this agent. And her headshot was, and the comments were hilarious. They're like, she's winning every negotiation. Like, they took this very angry headshot, and the comments were awesome. And so she was actually viral for things she didn't expect, but because they were just out there. But I will say this, if you're watching this or you've got comments about it, if you're an Airbnb person, you should say if I'm right or not, because when you start thinking about how you address a business, so an Airbnb owner is a small business, but the guests that come and go are probably one-time guests. So how else do future guests know except by reviews? And how do other hosts know except by the review of the guest? But then you have the other side. Some people are retaliatory. Some people are overly picky. And so it's a fine line you walk. But I look at the rating I gave that guest publicly. I had to do it because other hosts should know this is a risk in your house and your investment. But I hear what you're saying. You want to address it privately. But if you address it privately and they don't accept your criticism, other people are at risk. And so it becomes this up and down way of pros and cons.
If you feel like you're doing the right thing on that, then that's what you do. That's what you do. And you don't need somebody to confirm that you're doing the right thing, because that's what you feel in your heart, that this is the right thing, because you're protecting other people and protecting yourself. And that's the seed you're sowing, right? Because you want that to come.
Feedback matters. However, if you're the person who's leaving feedback in an effort to be nasty, that's when you should dial yourself back and say, is this about me or is this about the experience? Because it's two different things. If it's about the experience, then absolutely, we've said it before, we want to know. But if it's somebody making up stuff about a foundation without expertise, well, that's not going to be valid anyway. So we don't care.
Yeah. I know with that lady, I was like, I don't care. I have reports proving who's like, here's the thing, at the end of the day, I know who I am. I'm not going to be worried about what people do or say or whatever, because they're always, I've literally, and I know you have too, being a female, I've literally walked in a room where somebody didn't like me just because of who I was and were jealous of me because of who I was, or think I want their man. I'm like, look, if you're worried about your man, I promise you, I don't want your man. Why would I want something that already makes you emotionally unstable? Why do I want your trauma?
So you're bringing up something really important. So from a leadership perspective and from a growth perspective, as often said, why don't we have more women in positions of leadership and here and here and here? Well, if you notice, it's not men who are keeping women out of leadership, it's other women who attack women. And I've never understood that organic, natural response of women, because there is and obviously God created men and women differently. There is this protect your man mindset that some women have, but then they will take that and project it onto every scenario, which I don't get any of that, because like you, I've got one. The one man I have is a gracious plenty. I'm good, thank you. I don't want yours at all. Now, if he's my colleague, I hug everybody. I'm not hugging your husband for any reason other than I hug all my colleagues. And like you said, if there's trouble brewing that we haven't seen, projecting isn't the way to solve it either. But women have to stop attacking other women. It's not helpful. I mean, unless they deserve it, in which case I should.
I know. I saw this woman was coming by in the gym, and she's just like worried about her man being next to me, I guess, because she wasn't doing nothing, but she just wanted to be there kissing on him and everything. And I was like, and I was thinking about the way she was acting. I was like, oh my goodness, if you're that insecure, ask yourself, why is your man making you emotionally unstable? Because, a woman needs to feel physically and emotionally stable. That's what we like, right? And the thinking, like, why you would have to go to that degree to prove something, you know what I mean? Like, and I just think to myself, like, girl, you have nothing to worry about. I wouldn't want to be with a man. Look, don't want to be with something that would make me emotionally unstable. Okay. Why I need to go around chasing my man no matter where I'm at. Oh, honey, make sure everybody knows he's with me. No, that's his job. He's supposed to be leading you. But yeah, our world is something else. But yeah, we as women, we need to be kinder and not always think that everybody wants your man. And I think, we watch too much TikTok. We think everybody's cheating on everybody, because TikTok, if you just watch all this negative stuff and we go back into like the habits at night, if you're watching TikTok, the last thing you do, look, this morning I turned on.
That's a terrible idea.
It was terrible because all of a sudden this guy's doing this twerking thing came up, and I don't even follow him. And he came up in my thing, and I don't watch anything twerking, but it just, maybe they just thought maybe I might want it. I don't know. But this older gentleman is doing his little twerking thing. I was like in my mind, and I was like, this is horrible. I don't want it in my mind, because my mind in the mornings, I want to be like so focused. And I was like mad at myself because the first thing I did was, look at my phone and was checking things. And I go, oh, I'm not going to do that the first thing in the morning, because it totally threw me off, and it took me a little while to get my mindset right, because I'm like, in the mornings I'm trying to get happy, get excited, because I got to get everybody else excited and happy. And
that's why my phone lives in the kitchen. It doesn't even go in the bedroom. So it's in the kitchen. It's where I put it when it's time to go to airplane mode, and it stays in there charging all night. So when I get up in the morning, because yes, there are alarm clocks that are not attached to your iPhone. It's amazing. Get you that old digital clock.
It's amazing. They have such a thing.
I know it's crazy analog world, but analog things aren't bad. But it's sometimes because we do fall into the trap of, let me look at one more thing. Let me check a text. And then suddenly your notifications are up, and then you're down the rabbit hole. It's that physical separation of the things that cause you pain that can be really helpful. And it's not that you're trying to detox from the world, but we should all have guardrails. I mean, the highway has guardrails for a reason. You can change lanes. You can go your speed. But if you go over the guardrails, trouble's over there. So maybe they're a good idea, even with our electronic lives.
Yeah. So let's jump up. So in the morning, you're focused, you turn your phone off, you have these really good habits in the morning, and then at night you have these good habits. You don't take your phone to bed, you know, you 30 minutes or whatever before you start winding down, getting ready, you get rid of all the blue lights. You're the second person I think I've heard this week of talking about getting blue lights, getting all those things out of your room, making it dark, you know. And so I like that. So you're really purposeful in your mornings. You're getting up early. You're getting your habits. You get your Jesus in. You get your running in. All the things that you like to do in the morning. Go to the gym. So you exercise is important to you. Having a connection with God is important to you. And then having getting up in the morning and make sure you have plenty of time to do what you want to do, play Word or whatever. Just getting up in the morning, right? So your mornings is special. Like we talked about, I tell you, a lot of successful people, they all do that because the morning time, you're not solving problems in the morning. You know, the phone's not ringing, nobody's calling you. So the earlier is good. Okay, so then, and at night you're prepared. So, you know, you wind down, everything's dark. You make sure you get good sleep. You have a different alarm system than the phone. And okay, so now we're going to go to work. What do? Do you just go put on a t-shirt and go? Or do you make sure your hair is done? Do you put clothes on? Do you dress nice? I mean, or do you not care? Or do you go with whatever? I mean, when you are presenting yourself, you're getting ready, what do you do? How are you delivering yourself daily?
Look, I'm the old person who says the first impression matters. And I don't think enough people take pride in their appearance. And it's not that you have to be something you're not, but we all have an ability to be elevated. It's no different than when we were little and you went to church, you put on your Sunday clothes. We used to have Sunday clothes, and I don't even know if that exists now in a lot of households because they've fallen away from church. They've fallen away from a spiritual life. But you start realizing, okay, I used to dress up for church to bring the best version of myself forward because you behave differently when you're dressed, when you're showered and your face is fixed and your hair is on, your behavior is different when you don't. And I had a day yesterday, I was cleaning up this auction house. I did not fix my hair. I did not do my face. I had on a sweatshirt and my words were sloppy. My behavior was sloppy because I didn't look like the best version of myself. When I get up and fix up, all right, now my shoulders are back and I get on the phone. I'm a pro. This is my day. I'm after it. It's going to have an effect on how you behave. And especially in real estate, I think a lot of agents, in an effort to match and mirror their clients, they have lowered themselves so that they can be at that lowest common denominator. I don't want to be the lowest common denominator. I want to be the bar they're trying to achieve. I want my clients to say,
wait, say that again. You're a leader and what did you just say? I want to be what about that?
I don't want to be the lowest common denominator. I want to be the higher bar so that my clients know what they're trying to achieve. I talk about my Airbnbs. I talk about my long-term rentals. I talk about my commercial real estate. I talk about my first house. I talk about my real estate dealings to my clients so they can say, wait a minute, if she's a farm kid who didn't come from money and she can do it, then I can do it too, because we lead by example. If I am very dressed down and I start talking like that, are they even going to believe me? I mean, it's not that people aren't successful who don't look successful. The Millionaire Next Door is still one of the best books ever written by Tom Stanley. Everybody should read it because it's brilliant. But you have a perspective that you want to bring to the table, and I want somebody to listen. And so I want them to look at me with some kind of respect. And the first time they meet me is not the time for them to see the dressed down version. I did see a client yesterday while I was in dressed down mode, but it's somebody I've known for years. And the first thing out of my mouth was, I know you got to forgive me because my hair's not fixed and I'm not dressed up. And they said, oh, it's fine. You know, we know you. But if it was somebody I'd never met, what are they going to think about me as a professional if I look like a slob? And I know that the young people don't want me talking like this, and it hurts their feelings. And they say, I can sell all the houses wearing yoga pants. Okay, I feel you saying that. But when the day comes that your body should not be out in public in yoga pants, then what are you going to lean on? Are you going to, what are you doing? And so the other thing I want real estate agents to always remember every time they are successful in selling a house, whether it's for buyers or sellers, they're getting paid thousands of dollars. How many thousands depends on what structure they've got in their business, but you're paid a very good sum of money when you sell something. Why don't you dress like you're worth it? I mean, we're so busy trying to look lower than, but then we want to charge more than, and then have the nerve to question why the public is curious about what you charge. I know that when I walk into a room, I am professionally dressed, not expensively. I mean, I'm always shopping at Marshalls and TJ Maxx because I'm cheap. This is expensive because that's the pearls I got when my son was born, but I wear them every day because they match everything. All right, so does that dress up the outfit? Yes. And can you buy fake ones to dress up the outfit? Yes. And does it cost me more to look a little more professional? No, it's just a different intentionality. That's what it boils down to. And my whole day then goes around that. So if I go to the gym and then I shower, do my hair, do my face, now I'm ready. Oh, I can go make a video because I make more videos on good hair days. All right. So now I'm ready to do it. Now I'm ready to make my phone calls because if somebody says, hey, can you pop over here and answer a question for me? Have a cup of coffee, have lunch. I'm ready no matter what. I don't have to make excuses. So what if your daily habits are creating excuses for you that are keeping you from being successful? How easy is that to solve? It's as easy as doing what your grandma told you to do decades ago, put your Sunday clothes on.
I know I was raised that no matter, even if you stay home, you get up, you put your makeup and you dress nice every day. You're clean, everything. You make your bed, you make sure there's no dust, nothing on the fuzz on the floor, nothing, And I mean, that's how I was trained when I was younger. And so, and I still do
And
that.
I do think COVID messed that up, right? Because we
Anybody.
got put in lockdown, we got put on Zoom, and
Yeah.
a lot of people got into a really lazy version where they look good from here up, but they have pajama pants and slippers on. And I did too, because COVID was a very hard time with the way the world got really locked down. When you're in that position though, how do you break back out of that? I think that's where a lot of people are right now is
Yeah.
how do I reset? I'm tired of Zoom, but I
Yeah.
like being lazy. Well, okay, so go to Old Navy and get these fleecy pants that look like trouser pants and at least make the effort that your sweatpants don't look like sweatpants. Maybe that's where you start.
Yeah. I mean, you start somewhere. Just say every day, I'm just going to get up and be better today. Every day, work in excellence. I like that you do that. So then you get to the office because we just got a few more minutes or we got 7 more minutes or whatever. So you get to the office and then what do you do? And then kind of give me an idea on your systems. What systems do you have in place to be successful at being in real estate and then adding on these other things? Because there's a lot of different systems you just named off a few minutes ago.
Well, everything's a system. When you start paying attention to your life, everything has a checklist. And we have a manual at my office. It's our standard operating procedures. And for me, one of them is at the end of the day, when I'm at 7:30, putting my phone in airplane mode. All right, let me take a look at today. What did I not get done? Top of the list for tomorrow. What did get done? Yay, me. I celebrate me all the time. Like, good job, Lee Brown. I do this all the time. At the end of a run, I say good job, Lee Brown, because nobody else probably knows what I did. So you got to learn how to celebrate even little wins. So now I've set up tomorrow with starting with what I didn't get done today. And then I'm going to put in the old not technology, but the old mindset of Big Rocks. That's also a great book to read. So I'm going to get my big rocks in place. Then I have another list and it's all in these little notebooks. And so I have piles of notebooks in my office that will tell me where I'm starting. And I have a different one for different parts of my business. And I have the speaking business in one book and the real estate business in another one. And my Patriot Relief is in another notebook so that I can keep my different business ventures separated. And yes, it's not the most efficient way to operate, but it works for me.
Oh,
Some of
that's
y'all
it
could
right there.
operate on a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Some of y'all could operate out of your device. I can't because I'm a Gen Xer and I also don't trust electronics. It's why I don't trust an electronic Bible. I like my real Bible because I know it hasn't been edited by some creeper on the internet. You got to always be thinking about what's got the ability for somebody else to mess with it. And I want to have things that nobody else can mess with.
Yeah. I like that. And I'm with you. I have mine in different books too. If you ever, and I'm trying to get her on my podcast because I haven't been able to get a hold of her. I don't know if she's still doing it, but she did Unclutter. She spoke at 2 of my events and I really like her. And it's called Unclutter Me or something like that. And she's
like in that Marie, what's her name that did the Art of Simplicity or something? Marie Kondo, maybe she's in
I
that
don't
vein.
know that, but maybe I can reach out to her. This one was Lisa Winsel something, but she's been at 2 of my events she's taught over the years, and she's amazing. And she teaches in this book. I need to get her on here so you guys can see, but or if not, if she's not doing it anymore, I got to find somebody else. But uncluttering your
If anybody knows her, tag her in. Tag her in.
Yes,
If you know Lisa,
yes.
tag her in.
Or you know somebody who teaches the unclutter stuff, because that's huge. And having your stuff in books, and then because that's what she teaches, you know, like you have this book and then you have all these things and you write it down and you unclutter your brain before you go to bed. So she's teaching, like, you know, I have a girl who's been at both of my 2 of my events, and I tell you, I need to have her on because she's a doctor. But let me tell you what she does. She does hers every night. She takes everything out of her mind. So she has a book, and everything that has to do with her business or patients or whatever she's thinking, she just puts it before she goes to sleep. So she's decluttering her mind so she can go to sleep. And that's huge.
Love it.
And then having your different system and your different books is amazing. I like that. And then what would you say, like, because there's so much I could probably ask you. I would say, because I told him we're going to do some little tricks and stuff. So you see, she has good systems. She gets ready. She works. Everything's in excellence every day. Everything's prepared, you know, in the morning, at night, and going to work. And everything's in a system, and she knows what she's going to do next, right? This is how I'm seeing.
That's the whole thing, though, Amy. Why don't more people push for excellence? So many people right now, they're okay with good enough. They're okay with fine. They're okay with mediocre. I'm not okay with mediocre. I'm just not. I've got to get better. And when I screw up, I hate it so much. But I will go to my screw up and say, I screwed up and I want to make it better. I'm going to fix it. And then we just keep going. And sometimes people give grace and sometimes they don't. But at least I know that I made the effort to go from mediocre to excellent, or from good to great, the Jim book. Too many people are okay with enough. And it comes out of our public schools. Our public schools right now are getting rid of grades, and they're getting rid of expectations, and everybody passes. Well, no, everybody shouldn't pass. Some of y'all suck and you need to get better. And some of you are lazy and you need to start working. And some of you are fat and need to work out. And yes, I said it. And so if you know those things, freaking do something about it. I'm not guaranteed tomorrow. So the question is, what am I doing with today? And nobody can do it for me, only me. So if I don't like the way I look, if I don't know what my business looks like, I don't like this, I don't like this. It's Lee Brown who has to say, do something different, do something different, do something different, do something different. I'm not looking to the internet to make me feel better about my mistakes. I'm looking to me to make my mistakes better.
Yeah, I like when you said, I own it. And if I made a mistake, and then you want to be better. And I'm like that too. I'm like, oh my God, that was me. And there's some people that don't give you any grace because they just think you're supposed to be you just fell out of a book and you're perfect. And there's no such thing as, there are people, we do forget things. We're human beings, whether we're a great realtor or we're not. We're just people. People make mistakes. We have to own our stuff. I would rather you tell me you did mistakes than you to lie and act like I'm stupid and I don't know that it was you. And then,
we're all human beings with beating hearts. And it's the whole thing we're talking about here is the poison of cancel culture, which says you are frozen in your worst day forever. No, you're not. The best thing about salvation is Jesus died on a cross for all of us to have a chance at a better life. All you have to do is repent, and the ground is level at the foot of the cross. Nobody's got a higher spot than anybody else because of what you did or didn't do. We're all there together. The question is, who's going to say, I want this kind of better life, therefore I'm going to do better. That's all that it turns into. You don't get salvation because you do better. You get better as a response to salvation. And if your faith life doesn't get dug into everything that you do in your day-to-day life, man, you're missing out, because the whole point of the scripture is Jesus went and hung out with sinners and said, it doesn't have to be this way. How amazing is that? He wasn't hanging out with perfect people because, by the way, they don't exist. Hey,
I know. They say they do, but they don't.
They're full of crap.
I know, because he said the one without sin, cast the first stone, because there's nobody's perfect. And I always say, stay away from people, accuser of the brethren, people who are always accusing you of doing stuff, or stay away from those people, because they're listening to Satan and they'll just tear you
Yes.
down.
They will suck
As
the
long as you
life
listen
right
to
out of
them,
you.
you're going to be a distraction in your life. You're never going to be successful. You're going to be always trying to defend yourself. And that's just a bunny trail of distraction you're just going to go on. I don't even entertain crazy people.
No, because you can't win. As it was, my friend Justin always said, he's like, don't feed the trolls. And you
Don't
start realizing the people coming at you, they're trolls. Don't feed them. They'll stay up under the bridge.
But they love it. No, there are people who just love it. They're like, oh, can I get a reaction? I
Yes,
mean,
they don't
do
feed
that
them.
to
They'll go somewhere
sometimes
else.
they'll put little
You
nasty
stop
stuff
feeding
on
them.
there. I don't
Stop
even
feeding
take them.
them.
I was
They
like,
don't
no,
like you.
but not here, not for me. You need to go. Take your little nastiness and go. I'll just block you. Do whatever you need to do today, because tomorrow you won't be there. I don't care.
They block.
Look, this is my tribe. I'm not trying to get everybody's tribe. I'm trying to get my own. I just want people to grow spiritually, physically, financially. Want to be better people, and I want to empower people, encourage people to just be the best that they are. Whatever fit is to you, whatever spiritually fit is to you, whatever physically fit is to you, and financially. You don't have to, look like any certain thing or any kind of magazine,
No.
or your mind doesn't have to be this way, or whatever fit is to you. That's where I want to help you grow. And Lee, I'm just so happy that you were on here, and I got to
Thank
get
you for
to
having me. It's good to see you.
Yes, and you look amazing, and you're doing great things, and I love it. And you just keep being you, and having
The
a
only person I know how to do, but if your followers do know a good eye cream, I'm welcoming a link in the comments. And so maybe you're an influencer out there. Hook us up. Maybe Amy will check it out too. You never know.
you got something perfect for her. She's just judging herself over here. She looks amazing.
Oh, I'm totally legit judging myself. But see, I just said if I don't like it, I have to do something to change it. So that's why I'm looking for suggestions.
Okay, so she's ready to change it. So you guys help her change it. I don't know. Look, I always go to Mexico. I'm like that. What you got over there? What's the good
They do
stuff
have
over
the
there?
good stuff over the border.
Make
There's
me
no
pretty.
question. They got good stuff over the border. There's no question.
Oh, they do. If I'm gonna have a surgery, that's where I'm going. Yeah, they're amazing. So many amazing people. We're just always judging people, but man, there's amazing. I have amazing friends that are surgeons over in Mexico, and they do great work. And I know different people that just do great work. And so it doesn't matter what country you're in. There's a lot of great people out there.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So you have an amazing day. Thank you so much.
Thank you for showing me TikTok live too. So thank you, TikTok people.
I know. I love all my TikTok people. They're kind of hidden. Like I never really know who they are because they're all their hidden names, but
I know
I
it's kind of
definitely appreciate them.
scrolling through. But I guess did they leave you a star? I can't tell.
Because I'm learning all this.
We don't know what any of it means. So leave a star for Amy or a heart or a comment. We don't really know what she's supposed to have. Give her a diamond.
Look, I'm showing up regardless whether they send me a heart or anything, but I do have little goals or whatever they tell me I'm supposed to have. But I found that if you just keep doing it, I'm up to 1,200 followers now since April, whatever. And I mean, I just keep doing me. Because here's the thing is that it doesn't matter. I'm not trying to make everybody follow me. I'm just trying to get my tribe of the people who want to be better. And I want to help them. And I'm okay with if I grow slow, I'm okay. Because if my Facebook's like that, it's organic. I didn't go pay somebody to make me to get to my 6,000 or 5,000, whatever it is, people that follow me. I mean, it took me a long time to get there. And I even lost all mine once because I got on the red carpet and then I did that talk show. And then Facebook said I was public. They ruined my whole, and I had to start over again. But I just did it organically because I want the right people following me. But Lee, you have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.
Good to see you.
Bye-bye. Have an amazing day. Happy Veterans Day. Well, I'm trying to click out of this. There we go.
The Riverside will have to upload. So bye, people watching Riverside. I got TikTok turned off.
Oh, yeah, I need a. Oh my God! If I got people, I'm still on live. Hang on just a second here.
You're still living.
I'm still living. I'm telling you bye, but we're still live because I got to go click out of here. Okay,
Go ahead and laugh, people, as two middle-aged women try to figure these things out. Hey, what's up?
they don't even care because look, they're trying to learn themselves. Look, if I got all these powerhouses on my podcast and I have to teach them, everybody else is struggling. Maybe they're not. Maybe that's what they do when they're
Struggling too. We all struggling together.
Look, they're laying on the couch like, I know how to do that.
That's
And
fair. So then
so
it's
it's
just
so
choose
amazing
one.
because they'll go, it's this or that. And I'm like, oh, look, sometimes they let me have lots of people look, so it'll just shoot up there like in the thousands. And then sometimes they don't. And so I'm like, oh, okay, well, whatever.
I think that's mess with your physical reactions, like the endorphins and all that, so that you keep coming back in.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they do that. They're like, oh, I'm going to get her all excited because TikTok goes on there and they'll start. They have somebody who watches my stuff and then they approve me or whatever. They're like, okay, yeah, they do something where they have somebody watch you, and I guess because they don't want you doing certain things, I guess, on there, and so they'll go, okay, you passed. I'm like, okay. I'm like, what could I do not to pass? But I guess that is a thing.
I don't know. I mentioned that Israel bought TikTok, so I wonder if that takes you down a notch.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I normally don't do that, but hey, everybody's thinking about all these different things, and it's okay to.
I don't know all the answers.
Okay. I don't know what here. Okay, hang on. I'm still trying to get out of this. Sorry. It's still. I don't know.
I think you have to stop the river